TT, TT, can you please take your phones in your room? Good evening. Good morning. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good morning, good afternoon. Yes, we're here.
Awesome. Okay, well, we're just going to wait for everyone else to join. But I'm starting exactly at 5 because our guest is coming at 6, and I want to make sure that we're done on time. Thank you guys for being early. Yay!
It'll be in not in the central. The photo. Yeah, the backpack to the private or private. Yes.
I put some links in the private chat if you guys want to look at them. You might have already found these links, but
okay, yeah, I did see those.
Okay, awesome.
They're related to what you're going to talk about, or the guest speaker?
They're not really related to what I'm going to talk about right now. There's just additional reports on Ghana and different industries in Ghana. more
Okay.
related to research. So because of our wonderful conversation we had during office hours, you made me really think about some things. And I was like, okay, everyone may not know where to find some of this information on Ghana because it's hard to find. You don't really know who's doing these kind of reports. So
Yeah.
I shared some of the things that I look into and I'm reading in regards to doing business in this part of the world. So that's why I'm sharing it.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am. Black people. Everybody on Ghana time day. Oh, Lord, okay. Let me check my messages. Welcome, Nisha. How are you?
Good afternoon, good evening, everyone.
Hi.
Whatever you have playing in the background, I think you might need to mute it because it almost sounds like you're talking. Okay, no worries, all good. Thanks, Misha. That fixed it immediately. No problem. Okay. So Gwen and Gilliam, are normally always on time. So I'm assuming they're going to be logging in pretty soon. So let me just give it maybe 2 more minutes. Yeah, let me give it 2 more minutes. But I have got to start at 5:05 because we have got to go through this content before the guest speaker comes on. Thanks, guys. This gives me time to go grab water. Excuse me. Okay, 2 minutes. All right, they are here. Awesome. See, right on time. I said I was going to try it. Start at 5:05. And Gilliam logged on. Good afternoon. Sorry, good evening. I know you're in France. Good evening, guys. I'm so glad you can join. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, I'm going to jump right into it because we lost time last week because I had no power and no lights. Today I'm fully charged. If the lights go out, it may get dark. I will flashlight myself with my phone and everything's fully charged. We're going to keep going. So, okay. I do want to do a little bit of housekeeping. I went through the, let me see, what was it called? Homework assignment for week 3, which was the market research and problem statement. With those of you who turned it in ahead of time and then actually had office hours with me. If you didn't turn it in, we didn't go through that, so we're going to move forward. For week 4, the assignment that was in place, no one should have actually done that assignment yet because we haven't actually talked about KPIs. If you did do it, that's fine, but it's expected for you to do this week that we're in. This is week 5, okay? So let me add Marlon in as well. Welcome, Marlon. Welcome to the party. Party don't stop.
I know. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. Okay, and Marlon, actually, I just saw the work you put in because I didn't realize it was in the main folder. So I will look that over and give you a response Monday. So please give me the time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go into the lectures for week 4 and week 5. And the reason why I want to just jump in immediately is simply because you all know we have a guest speaker coming at 6 p.m. today. That guest speaker is an American entrepreneur. His name is Tyrone. His name is Tyrone Jamar. And he is a, what do we call people in this field? Healthcare entrepreneur. That's the best way I can put it. He will explain his background to you when he comes on, but he took the knowledge he had as a nurse and in working in other fields in healthcare, brought him over here to Ghana, and found a way to make it a business. So he has Ghanaian partners, and they opened up the first all-male clinic here in Ghana. It's specifically for preventive medicine, and it focuses on the health of men. So not just like, it's not limited, but it includes like diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, infertility, sexual, erectile dysfunction. It includes a lot of different things. I was very impressed with this guy and his team. I had a chance to go to their facility, which is really nice, talk to them, sit with them. I will be posting that interview at some point on my channel, but I asked him to come speak with you all because this is an American who came over to Ghana to do a business. So I think this could be helpful to you all, and hopefully you all have questions for him when he comes on, because there will be plenty of time for you all to ask questions. That's the point, for you all to engage. All right, any questions about that? All right, I'm looking at you, I don't see any questions. So let me jump into the United Nations Development Goal and government contracts. All right, let me make sure I'm on the right screen. Okay, everyone can see it, yes? Okay, I see thumbs up, awesome, thank you guys. Okay, I'm not gonna read this big blurb that's going to pop up on the screen, but I wanted to give you all a background on the United Nations Development Goals. Now, if you don't know, or if you do know, let me just go ahead and talk about it very quickly. United Nations was formed right after World War II. And in this most recent form, it really focuses on the development of third world countries. And I shouldn't call them that, I should call them developing nations. People get mad when I say third world countries. But countries that don't have the same type of development in place as first world or advanced countries. And so all of the countries in Africa fit in that criteria. You have countries in Southeast Asia. You have India as part of that group as well, and Latin America. And then parts of the Caribbean are part of it as well. But for the United Nations in 2015, they decided that they were going to, the member states of the United Nations, let me be clear, the member states are the countries that are part of the United Nations, came together and said that they want to create a way in which they can push these development goals forward and help countries who have not been developed yet or who are underdeveloped be able to meet those goals in a particular time frame. And the deadline for that they put out in 2015 is for 2030. Now, you will find that when you are trying to do business in this part of the world, these UN development goals matter. I first heard about the UN development goals in Germany at a conference. And someone was doing a presentation talking about the technology company that they had started in Kenya. And then they kept referring to the UN development goals. And I was just thinking, why is this white man talking about the UN development goals? Does he work for the UN? But no, it wasn't the case. It was simply because when you do business in that part of the world, you have to show and demonstrate, not only do you understand these goals, but you know their purpose, you understand how they're intertwined into the government. Each and every government that's working and receiving some type of aid, some kind of assistance from a developed country to do anything, like to do their roads, do the infrastructure, to deliver healthcare, to deliver vaccinations. And I'm not talking about COVID vaccination, but that can play into it. I'm talking about vaccinations like polio, MMR, mumps, measles, rubella, and stuff like that. I'm talking about things in which in the developed world, most of us are already vaccinated for, but in this part of the world, these vaccinations are still ongoing. They're still trying to eradicate these diseases. Well, countries send money in order to ensure that this happens, as well as send money for food and different things like that when it's needed in certain countries. And I say that because government aligns everything they do to the UN development goals, including Ghana. You know, the president is very Pan-Africanist. Yes, he's very for seeing the country develop, seeing Africa, Africans, Ghanaians take control of their resources, yes. At the same time, he's still intertwined and beholden to the UN development goals. So you will see, like, the Ministry of Sanitation, when they talk about cleaning the gutters, or they talk about recycling the plastic water, or the plastic bottles and plastic bags, they always refer back to a UN development goal regarding sustainability and things of that nature. Even though they're not following it, they will talk about it. This is very true when it comes to technology. What they'll say for technology, I don't know the UN development goals by heart. So I just want you guys to realize that. But there's a UN development goal that talks about innovation and technology. If you're in technology and you're working on any of the areas that you all work on, this also includes website development, not design, development, because that's the coding part. It meets that UN development goal. So in business proposals, you need to have whatever you're talking about that you can do for a company, align it to how that meets the UN development goals or a particular UN development goal. It's almost like customizing a resume for a job. Think of it the same way as if you would customize a resume for a job. So some of the nonprofits and for-profits organizations align business goals with the primary UNDG government goals for Ghana. The reason why I say primary is because for technology anyway, and for the business people that I interact with, they all seem to go back to the 4 goals I listed in this PowerPoint. If you viewed the PowerPoint already, you would have seen these particular goals. Now, I can't see you clearly right now, so if you have a question, Forgive me, but I cannot see it yet. So hold on to it, please. And when I get the screen back bigger and I can see you guys individually, I can answer questions. So please let me know when we get to that point. The reason why I put here some profit, some nonprofit, depending on where these companies are registered and the primary place where they do business, they may or may not align what they do here in Ghana. But I have found those who are trying to get a foot in the door, those who are trying to really get those government contracts, need to understand and find a way to incorporate those UN development goals into what they're doing. And it's not hard, because if you really read what each goal is, you see that, oh, okay, I'm actually doing this anyway. So you can be able to do that. And I said something here in parentheses based on the ruling party. Ghana is a place, all of Africa really is a place. Soon as the government party changes, government contracts will be revoked, stopped, stalled, not moved forward. So if you're doing a contract with the government now, make sure that contract is complete before the new election takes place. If not, you may not be able to complete that project. You may not get paid. This is a little extra beyond the UN development goals. This is just a reality on the ground that I'm sharing with you. And so the 6 goals that I talked about mainly are goals 6, 9, 4, and 8. I do want to emphasize, because this question was asked, agriculture is extremely important in Ghana, and there is a goal that I should have put on here pertaining to food. And I forgot what the goal is called, but it pertains to food and using agriculture to grow food in Africa. That is definitely referred to very frequently here in Ghana. So that is something that should be here as well. But clean water and sanitation is extremely important, as you know. Clean water, especially now with galamsey happening. If you haven't heard of galamsey, I've never heard the word galamsey till I came to Ghana. This is when small miners or illegal miners go into remote areas that have vast forestation, clean water bodies, and start digging for gold. And they use mercury, because you have to use mercury when you're mining for gold. And they use mercury and put it actually into the water, which you're not supposed to do, and contaminate the water. So there is a huge problem here with galamsey in some of the regions where gold is abundant and can be mined. And so clean water and sanitation is something you'll hear about a lot here. And I wanted to make sure to point that out. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. All of your companies can align with this. Industry could be any industry. It could be education, because education is huge. You have over 1 million students in school. You can have agri-tech, agribusiness. You can have any form of technology, because cybersecurity, DevOps, all that goes under technology. That also, all the technology stuff goes under innovation. And infrastructure can be put into place as well, depending on the type of companies that you're bringing to the country. But I put goal 4 here for quality education, because I'm biased. As an educator, you know I'm biased. So I'm always going to put that there, because everything that all of you all do, you can teach to someone else. And yes, Gwen, you can teach textiles here and people would love it. You're coming from France, Paris, come on, the capital of fashion. So everyone has something that they can share with the people here. And that's what I put the goal for quality education. Now, goal 8, decent work and economic growth. All your businesses will do this regardless, because the moment you open a business and you start getting clients, you start getting customers, you start getting orders here in Ghana, all you're doing is growing the economy, because you're going to turn around and you're going to circulate that money through the communities by hiring people, by sourcing your products, or by sourcing skill sets, you're going to be able to have a circular motion of being able to keep Black dollars in the Black community in the Black country. I love that so much. So I just wanted to say that. And now I'm going to go so that I can see any questions for this one. Give me 1 second while I take it off the screen. Okay, it looks like it's off the screen for you. Okay, any questions? I'm gonna mute.
I have a quick one. In your weekly video that you send out, I think you said there's like 17 goals. Question is there a minimum number of these 17 goals, or however many there are, that you would recommend to be in your proposal? Like 3, 5, 2? Is there like, which would be best as a best practice, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's too hard for me to answer. I would say personally, it's advisable for you to be able to talk about what you're doing. What you're doing should be focusing on very specific, like what you're providing should be very specific. If it's very specific, then you should only have a minimal amount of the goals. If you have all the goals or half the goals inside of a proposal, someone's going to wonder what the hell is going on, because everyone is not an expert at everything, but you are an expert at some things. So if you just have 1, 2, a few in there that's aligning with exactly what you're talking about, aligns with the goals that Ghana has as they want to move forward in a particular industry. Like in Ghana, the vice president's office is focused on digitization. Did I say it right? Digitization. I always get, so hard. You know, getting everything off paper, right? You know what I'm saying? Getting everything off paper and finding ways to put things online. Like money is online. Mobile money is here, it's solid, it works. They also have the Ghana QR code. It's called QR, and it has this little, QR code. If the shop takes it and you scan it, and then if you have the app, you can pay for goods that way. They're trying all kinds of things to make this a cash-light society. Cash-light is a term that comes from a UN project that has been implemented inside of Ghana in order for Ghana to become a cashless society. This is true for a lot of different areas. This is why I put those links up in the private chat for different reports. I am a very, very studious person, and I try to find out information on those who are giving money to Ghana, because unlike the West, unlike the US, France, the UK, Germany, who have very solid economies, very solid infrastructure, and tend to be the people who set the parameters for other countries, the countries that don't have that kind of power are reliant on Western countries or the East, like China, right? Or Russia, to be perfectly honest. But most of the content I have access to and I can read personally is in English. In France will have their own set of reports and documentation similar to the World Economic Forum for countries in Africa, because they do a lot of business in Ghana too, not just in Francophone countries. So keep that in mind. So hopefully, I don't know if that answered your question, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, that makes sense. So just however many that makes sense to what you're talking about in relation to your business. Just to follow up, you were talking about money. How is Bitcoin in Ghana? Not to take you off track, but just a quick answer on, have you guys started using Bitcoin?
I know, like, you like to ask questions like multiple times as if you think I didn't hear you the first time, because you did this before another week. I remember, girl. Yes, they use Bitcoin here, but is it popular? No. Can you find somewhere where you can cash out and get some money from your Bitcoin? Yes, super hard. I know people with Bitcoin and they're still having a struggle life when it comes to that. But their money, that Bitcoin is valid, but there's a lot of different cryptocurrencies out there. Bitcoin is just popular, right? But you know what I'm saying? So it's that. is that. And I think as you get here, you should do more research because I don't use Bitcoin. So for me, it's not as important to research this. People are constantly talking to me about different things because, I'm friendly, whatnot, or something. I don't know. So they talk to me and they tell me things like this. And then I start asking follow-up questions because I'm curious to know, why is it so hard? Right? So, so that's something more. If you find out more, please share with the class. We all on WhatsApp now. Okay, anybody else have a question before we jump into the next presentation about KPIs?
Yeah, just real quick. On the contracts, do we know what percentage of those contracts are awarded to locals? And just to follow up on that question, and does it make sense for us to come in more as an international business as we try to get UN contracts as opposed to a local business?
Okay, so you asked the multiple questions there. Let me go to that last part. You said when it comes to getting UN contracts, you're not getting a UN contract when you're in Ghana. You're going for a specific contract for a specific ministry or government entity in Ghana. So you're going to just reference the UN development goals. However, if you are applying to, or responding to a, what do I want to call it? It's not called an advert. It's called like, it's like a call for proposals, but it has a specific name. I forget what it's called. When they're trying to get people to help them do something like, we want to install solar power into remote villages in Sierra Leone, and the sponsor of that particular initiative is the UN or the European Union Aid to Africa, then they have specific grant proposals, requests that people can apply to do work in those countries. Their application process, of course, is going to be different than the application process you go through here in Ghana. Any application you apply for, and I keep calling it application, I know it's not the right term, I know there's a name for it, I just can't think of it.
What is it, like the RFPs or something? Isn't it the RFPs? At least on the government side.
RFP is something else, but it's like, let's say it's a request for proposals, it's an RFP. It's the same exact thing, but it has a different name here. But they put the call out. Each individual ministry, each individual government entity has their own processes in place. And every last one of them require you to pay an application fee just to submit your proposal. The application fee, as far as I know, for the ones that I've seen, and the one that I applied for, and I just got frustrated because I just was frustrated. But they have not 100, it's 500 to 5,000 Ghana cedis just for the application. And for me, I was just like, why am I paying you just to get the application so I can submit my proposal? But that's how things work here. Now you said something about what's the percentage of locals getting contracts? That just depends on what is the actual contract for. If the contract is for roads and infrastructure like that, you have over 50% getting the contracts. If the contract is for like technology, that right there has been over 90% of foreigners getting it because the companies and talent haven't been here. It's only recently in the past like 3 years that more and more young Ghanaians who understand technology, who have been working in tech either abroad or here, have actually started their own businesses in technology and have been going for government contracts. It looks like a trend like that's starting to change now because priorities being put on, stop giving all these things to foreigners and give it more to people, to the locals. But there has to be the talent base there in order to do it. And it just hasn't been there for technology. In other areas, Ghanaians get the contracts first. So was there another question?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and jump into, let me share the screen, go to the next, the next lecture, which is on KPIs. All right. Okay, I did this KPI presentation in a way that if you are not used to working with KPIs, it's going to come up in 1 second, guys. But if you're not used to working with KPIs and terminology used in business, that you can just reference this particular slide deck. However, I'm not going to go through each and every terminology, simply because when you first start a business, a lot of these things immediately just won't apply. They can, but you're trying to just get off the ground first. Okay, so everyone's still there. No one dropped off. Okay, good. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to jump into it. So KPIs, key performance indicators, are simply a way for you, your manager, the business owner, you as the business owner, to know if you're meeting your set goals for your business, and the people that work for you if they are meeting their goals. Additionally, KPIs are important once you start getting investors or if you have key stakeholders. So for those of you already in business, you may have a board of directors that you have to report back to. KPIs are a great way to show these are the goals that we had set for ourselves for the quarter or for the month or for the year, however you meet with your board of directors, and you are showing actual data that you have been achieving something and what you have been achieving. And there are lots of different software applications out there to help companies track KPIs. And so when you have your KPIs, you're looking for very tangible outcomes. What can happen? How can it happen? How can you get to the next step? And so you'll be tracking that as you go along in your business processes. So it ensures that everyone in the company is on track. I've always had KPIs of some sort, some way of being measured in the jobs that I've had in my life. And then I set goals for myself as well for the business that I have, for both businesses, 2 separate groups of goals and KPIs. I call goals and KPIs the same thing. Please forgive me if you don't. But I have the same, I have 2 different sets, but the same kind of processes happening, so I can go back and check. I can go back and look and see if things are on track, and just do it that way because my businesses are new here in Ghana. So what I do want to jump to is the customer retention rate. And so when I'm talking about this, and particularly talking about this for startups, and you all will be startups here in Ghana, new businesses, small businesses, however you want to call it, and if you want to put the actual definitions on it, that's fine. But it's the percentage of paying customers who remain paying customers during a given period of time. So if you have a subscription and someone is paying that subscription monthly, do they keep paying month over month for 3 months, 6 months, all the way into a year as your continued customer? So you need to be tracking that. Or after the first month, do they stop the subscription because they're not satisfied with what they're getting, or they got everything they needed very quickly? So this is something to keep in mind as you are moving through, your business. I do want to talk about the overhead. And the reason why I want to talk about overhead is because you have to think about how much money it's going to cost you to get physical, like a physical building, or rent an office. I don't know how many of you want to rent a physical office. I don't know if any of you are thinking of renting like a house and then having an office in your house where you're doing the business, or renting a compound house that has a boys' quarters and using that boys' quarters as your office space where your clients can come and do business. I'm not sure. I personally believe in remote first, but this is a brand new concept here in Ghana. So remote first work where your business is entirely remote. So your location where you do business essentially is at your home. Your workers or employees can do the same thing at their homes or across the world, depending on what you use them for. And then, you know, you come together remotely as we're doing now. Ghanaians were thrust into this during COVID. So even e-learning was new during COVID, even at the university level. This isn't something that Ghanaians were used to doing. So all these things occurred during COVID, and now it seems to be gaining traction because people are tired of the traffic. People are tired of paying high rents or even paying rent in general when they can do their business over the internet, right? They can do their business remotely and still have the same effect. So think about these things when you're thinking about your overhead expense and the customers that you are going to have, and will those customers, the income you make for the customers that are buying your products or services be able to pay for that overhead you have for the physical structures you may need, and other like products and things you may need for your business. Okay, so I also want to jump to monthly active users. Okay, 536. Okay, yes. Monthly active users are important. I know all of you will have a technical component to your business. And so this goes back to if you have a subscription plan. This also can refer to if you have some type of courses that people are doing online, some kind of training, or if you have some kind of support. So you're providing some form of technology, but there's maybe some kind of online support that you're using a bot to do, or you're using some form of AI to do to interact with your clients in that way to solve issues immediately. You know, how active are your users? How are you tracking them? How are you knowing about what they're doing and how they're doing it? So this is important for all of us who are working in an online format with our businesses. So the conversion rate, you guys still there? Hey, let me see, you look like little ants. Okay, yes, got it, I see you. Okay, real tiny, I saw a little thumb. The conversion rate itself is a combination of the company's ability to sell the product to its customers and the customer's desire for the product. So for instance, I put out a call on YouTube saying, hey guys, I'm starting a business incubator. If anybody's interested in learning how to be an African entrepreneur in Africa and Ghana, hit me up. I never even thought anybody would hit me up. And I was so excited to have people not only apply, but go through the interview process. And I actually selected you guys that I wanted to be part of it and had to turn others away. It was a great feeling, but it allowed me to know my customers have a desire for this particular product. So I was doing something right. And so I'm trying to use that as an example. So hopefully that's okay and everyone understands. I feel like someone dropped off. Give me 1 second to add them back in. Yes, okay, folks are at home. Mute yourself, please, mute yourself. Okay, so let me go back into the how to apply. Okay. So I was just going and I added them back in and lost my train of thought. Y'all, I'm old. That's what happens when you get old. Okay, guys. So when you're doing your KPIs, you need to be focusing on what are your core goals? What are you trying to accomplish, let's say in the next 3 months, in the next 6 months, and you're writing these things down or using one of the software application tools that are out there to track your KPIs that you want to set up. So your key performance indicators. And for all of you, you should have a minimal viable product. That's an MVP. So what is your minimal viable product that you're selling to someone that you want people to buy for sure? You know, you need to know what that is as you're setting your KPIs. Okay. You will need to determine if any or all of the KPIs apply to your company as a new startup. Now, the KPIs that you can start with are the ones that I kind of put inside of this slide deck. However, I also provided a link for an article talking about KPIs for startups. That to me was a great article that listed a lot of different type of options for new startups and what they should have for your KPIs. You do not have to go by anyone else's structure or anyone else's best practices. Make your own for your business. This is the whole thing about being an entrepreneur. You're being bold, you're being brave, and you're doing things on your own terms. So you can make your KPIs that work for you, your partner, and your business. So please keep that in mind as you're working on your KPIs. Let me see, what did I miss here? Okay, so I also said that at the end, wait on deciding what KPIs will work for your business until you are year 2 and know what customers want and who they are. I put that little blurb in there because sometimes people create KPIs in the very beginning of their business, and those KPIs are not realistic or unattainable when you're just starting. You always have very lofty goals, but as real life plays in and you're doing the business and products aren't coming through, suppliers aren't coming through, things aren't able to work as smoothly as they thought they would, as you thought they would, you have to pivot. And if you have to pivot, then you have to update your KPIs. And that's okay. You know, so even if you don't have KPIs in the first year, it's not a bad thing, but you should be thinking about what it is you're trying to accomplish and how you're trying to accomplish them, and put yourself on a path to be successful by providing yourself with a set of goals, which are your KPIs, what you want to do for your business. So let me go ahead and see who might have questions. All right, so I can see, okay, any questions about that? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go to, 5:41, okay, all right. Hopefully he ain't on Ghana time, or I'm gonna have to text him and be like, where you at? No, I'm playing. Let me go to the next one. The next one is bootstrapping your business. Second one, share my screen. Okay, so I'm just letting this come up. Trying to check to see, make sure I didn't have any mixed text messages from our guests. I don't. Good. Okay. All right, while I'm waiting for this particular slide deck to come up, I mentioned to you before the importance of using your own money to start your business in Ghana. That might have been week 1 or week 2. I want to reiterate, I don't know what is wrong with me today. I think I've been out in the sun too long, y'all. I was like, I got family here. I was taking people on tours, and Lord Jesus, I think the sun got me in my mouth. Oh, I'm tripping. But let me just stress the importance of having full control over your business as you start it. I have seen how venture capitalists or venture capital companies who either don't have any Black founders and or have to meet a new quota now to look more diverse and inclusive are trying to get more Black founders. But the fine print in which they provide their terms takes over 50% of the company, if not 70% of the company, from the founders. So the problem with this is that if you create a very successful company, a very popular company here in Ghana specifically, I don't mean worldwide, but you create a very popular business here in Ghana, and you get a venture capital company who, you know, sounds good, sounds fantastic, giving you a bunch of money, but are saying, look, you know, you are giving over majority control of your company. The moment you hand over majority control over your company, the company is no longer yours. So this is why I think bootstrapping is important. So for funding your business, highly suggest you use your personal funds and savings. Technology is a beautiful thing. There are so many ways in which you can use cloud computing services to just boot up a business quickly, just to see if people are even interested. There are drag and drop software applications that allow you to build a website. That's for those of you who don't know how, but majority of you do. But I'm just saying, there's just so many ways for you to get an online presence, and then you can use social media just to attract your first few customers, or go to friends and family and see who would be interested. If you feel that you still don't have enough money to do what you need to do, you can always get a small business loan, but only do it in your country of origin. Do not get a loan here. They're predatory. This is a very new concept here. They are copying everything they see from the US or the UK or wherever. But the interest rates alone start at about 24%. And I don't know if you know, but 24% is stupid. And they go even higher than that. So it's just ridiculous how high they are. You can definitely probably get a lower rate where you in your country of origin. Of course, you can receive venture capital funding, as I was talking about before, but you need to really think through these things as you're trying to start and grow a business in Africa. Why does this matter? When you start your business, especially for those of you who are already aware of this and know, but when you're starting your business, there's going to be so many ups and downs. There's going to be so many things that occur that you did not expect to occur. And you're going to have to figure out a way, as the entrepreneur, as the person who started this company, as the person who has skin in the game, as the person who has a passion for what you're doing, as the person who believes in your baby, that's your company. You're going to figure out, you have to figure out for yourself how to make your company successful. And when I keep saying you, I just mean the founders. Whether you're a single founder, co-founders, or a group of founders. I'm just saying you because you have to think as one in order for your business to be successful. And you are really going to see how successful you're going to be in those first few years. I mean, the first year, you're really not going to make any money. That's the reality. You're not going to make a lot of money. You will make money, but majority of that should be going back into your business so that you can make more money. You know, so it should be like a circular pattern. You're constantly putting it back into your business until you get to the point where you can pay yourself a salary, you know, and actually make good profits from what you do. So again, I talked in here about working with investors and how much of your business you want to share with investors and how much control you want to give them. Now, if you're the kind of person thinking, okay, look, I have like this 10-year plan or this 5-year plan, and I want to be, you know, I want my company to be a unicorn, and I want to be valued at $1 million, and I want to be able to exit and get, you know, a $5 million check or something. I don't know. There's a lot of people that focus like that. Then you do want a venture capital company because they're helping you to accelerate everything, and you already have decided you want to exit the company. For those people, it's fine. But I'm not sure if that's something you all want to do. So please keep that in mind. When you're getting money from family and friends, you know, the question is, do they have the money to give you? I ain't had nobody, you know, anybody had no money to give me. I'm just letting y'all know. Like, they like, what? You lost your mind, right? But some people have that, but in most Black communities, it's not the case because you're either helping to take care of other family members, or you're helping to, you know, hell, you're just trying to survive. Or it's just kind of like, dang, I just saved a little money. Why I got to give it to somebody else, you know? So it's really hard in the Black community to even do this family and friends thing. This is something typically reserved for white people or for other groups, but it's not really that often you see that in our community. And then cultural tradition, especially in this part of the world and in America, really focuses and supports going to get a job and working for someone else. You go to college, you graduate, you get some job, you work for them for 30 years, you get retirement, and you die. Basically, like in my family, it'd be quick to say, you need to go for work at the post office. That's a good job, girl. You go to the post office. That's what you need to go. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to law school. I'm tired of y'all telling me. I'm going to graduate school for technology. I want to be a computer scientist. They was like, why you want to play with computers? What's wrong with you? But they don't say that anymore now, do they? Girl, no. But that's just one example. But there's also venture capital, and it provides a really large financial investment up front. Like, you know, you can get $100,000, you can get $500,000, depending on what type of business you're doing, what type of clients you have, what kind of profit margin you have. It's just up to you. Or you can do angel investors. Angel investors are people who do small investment amounts to companies for a percentage of that company, or a percentage of the profits of the company. So that's option two. If you all decide to do venture capital, read that contract front to back, even the small print, and take it to a lawyer who understands this type of contract. If you don't, you will wind up signing over 50 to 100% of your company without even realizing you did it, especially if you're co-founders, because there's so many ways that they can screw co-founders. It's not even funny. So just keep that in mind. As far as small business loans, sometimes you can get loans without a problem from certain banks, certain credit unions, depending on where you're at in the world, or even where you're at in the States. But we all know statistically, it's hard for Black people to get these loans. Not saying that Black people don't have the credit, not saying they can't pay it back. It's just society has already pigeonholed us so much so that they make it very complicated for this to happen for us. And the interest rates in most times are high, but you could still do it if it's an option for you, or you can find other ways in which to get a loan that will allow you to use it towards your business. Me, I'm a big believer of using your own money. The money you save up, the money you get from working your regular job or your full-time job that you have now, using that money and putting that into your business what you can, because you have full control over your business. You can start small, take your time, figure out what's working, figure out what's not working. You can pivot, you can make changes. And most importantly, you have full control over your business. And the only person you're accountable to is your co-founder. If you decide that you want to have a board of directors, because you don't have to have a board of directors here when you register your limited company. Not initially. It's actually not required as a private company. It's not required to decide you want to get public. You can never have a board of directors if you don't want to. It's your choice. So when it comes to bootstrapping, I personally believe that you should be using your money, or you should be using your money to focus on one product or service initially to see if you can sell it in this market, to see if people are willing to buy it from you, to see if there's a need and a demand. If you're here and you're sourcing, a product here, and then you're refining it and you're manufacturing or packaging it here, then you're adding value and you're providing to the economic growth of Ghana, but you're selling it abroad, you're selling it outside. You still need to know what people are willing to buy in the markets you're selling it to and how much they're willing to pay for it. And you have to include on that the cost of export and how that will work. So I say test the market. You certainly should be testing the market. You can do it by bouncing off people you already know, partners you already have in business, using social media, which I am always going to champion because it's free marketing, and seeing what sells and what doesn't. And social media is not going to do anything but grow you guys. As always, a new, application out there, like TikTok is the thing now. I don't even understand TikTok. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. TikTok is dumb. I don't know what's happening. However, people use it all the time. But here, mainly, folks use Facebook like it's a website. And when I say Facebook's a website, yes, but I mean Facebook as if everybody's company is on Facebook. They use Facebook like it is the operator, like I'm gonna call the operator and find out what's the number for this. Y'all, I'm old. I done told y'all I'm old. Back in the day, I could dial 0. I could be like, can you tell me where the Kmart is on the south side? And they would give me the address and the phone number, okay? Now you can just Google something and it will give you the address, the phone number, and the website. People in Ghana, people in Africa, on that section of Google that gives you the website, they have started linking their Facebook pages to that. And folks tend to go to Facebook or Instagram first before they go to your website. I think I mentioned that, but it's important to understand that because that's how things are selling here now. So let me go ahead and go on. You should take 90% of the revenue from all the sales in your first year and reinvest it in your business to expand and grow. This is what I was talking about earlier, how when you start making money, you put it back into your business so you can make your business better, so you can make the products that you're providing and the services you're providing to your customers top-notch, something that they want to keep coming back for, and something in which they recommend to others, because word of mouth is very important. Lastly, another way that you can get revenue for your company is crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is becoming more and more popular. It'll allow you to raise money and for you to be able to put it back into your business to build a product and then be able to ship it out to those people who put in early in order to buy the product that you're going to create. Now, crowdfunding is a fickle beast because every platform is different on how they allow people to be able to join. But that's something that you should definitely keep in mind. And as I say, and I will always say, pivoting is so important because things change all the time, especially here in Africa. Nothing is what it seems, and nothing will work as you planned it to the first time. Things will work, but it may not work exactly as you planned because this is a very different society. It's a very different type of place, but there are so many opportunities for growth here, so many opportunities to just to do things that you're passionate about and want to really grow in. And so for some of you, you might want to stay small. Some of you might want to grow big, but you have to start somewhere. So start small and then allow yourself to expand over time as you're understanding how to adjust your business to meet the needs of your customers. So that is in a nutshell what bootstrapping is. I'm going to go ahead and close this off and let's see if our guest is here. He is not here. Okay, any questions? If you have a question, just go ahead and speak while I mute myself, please.
I have a quick question. For my particular business, where I plan on renting a home, renting a compound, and converting, I would say, the majority of the home into the daycare and probably living as out of one bedroom as my main living quarter. In that type of setup, do you think crowdfunding would be beneficial? I plan on, as you said, using my own personal savings and some, you know, inheritance that I have to fund it. But I'm not really big on asking people for money. I'm just wondering, would that be the best, for the type of business that I'm going into? Would just be best to fund it solely myself and not, you know, look for outside investors, crowdfunding and the sort?
Thanks, Felicia, because I'm just talking and I see your red hair in your hand and I'm like, all right, I must be muted. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I was sending a text message to the guest speaker. I would say it's best for you to use your own money. When you come here, and just to be clear, you are talking about early childhood development, right?
Yes.
Oh, right. Okay, so for the early childhood development, you can, because people do this all the time here, and this is completely normal and okay, it shocked me, but it happens. You can literally rent a house here, and you know, the rents here are way cheaper as long as you're not in an expat neighborhood or in a very posh neighborhood. You can still be in a nice, safe, regular Ghanaian neighborhood and have a nice house. If you do that, the rent that you will pay here for 1 year is a fraction of what you would pay for a full year in the US for rent. As a matter of fact, for some people, like in Chicago, it might be 1 month's rent or 2, and that pays for a full year, you know? And then once you have the house, then you're going to have to set it up so that their rooms in the house are functional for, you know, the teaching of small children. And, you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you can do that. Table, chairs, whiteboard, toys, you know, whatever you use with babies and stuff. I don't know what you use with no babies, but you know, stuff like that. Whatever you use to engage and teach them, I'm pretty sure you can do it with your own money and wouldn't need crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is like for people who are creating like a 3D printing machine, or they're creating a drone, you know, that can rain on your head. I don't know. You know, they're creating something unique and different and like a gadget. And then sometimes you have crowdfunding for technology companies who are doing something innovative that people find innovative in the market. So yeah. All right. Okay, so any other questions? Okay. So while we're waiting for him and I'm waiting for a response, I do want to go to just talk quickly about the assignment in week 4 for the market research. I'm trying to pull it up. That's why I'm talking like this right now. Right. So the assignment for market research and KPIs, I don't know if you have looked at it yet for week 4, but there's a series of questions there for you to complete. It's important for you to complete week 3's homework for your competitors before you can complete this market research homework for week 4. And the reason why is because you need to understand who your competitors are, what they do that you do, and how are you going to do it differently, you know? So that is something that you should please keep in mind while you are doing the homework assignment. So give me 1 more second, guys. I'm gonna try to see if I can find out what's going on. Because yesterday he told me he was gonna be here. So please give me a minute. I'm gonna turn the phone on a second while I try to text.
Hey, Marlon. Oh, hey, hi. Did you know you put your answers in the main folder?
Yeah, she told me that earlier. It probably
Oh,
was
okay.
late, but thank you.
Okay.
I'll correct it. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm that tech guy who is challenged by certain technologies, like Dropbox. For whatever reason, I don't know. Just yeah.
Not to be funny, but you know you can copy it, right? You can copy it and send it somewhere else.
I know you can share it. I know you can download it and upload it.
No, you just right click on it and copy it, but you have to have another folder to send it to. So you can send it to your cohort 1 folder.
Yeah, I thought I was in my Linux tech folder, and when I uploaded, but I'm always multitasking. That should tell you how well I am at multitasking, right?
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah. I'm the first to admit I am not a good multitasker. I usually put that out there like right off the bat. I think it's a myth, but yeah, I do have to do it sometimes, especially recently. So, but thank you. I will try to fix it.
Do you guys have any questions or comments or ideas or topics that you want to discuss regarding the work or the PowerPoints or the business or even this incubator that I'm doing? How can I improve it? Let's start there. Go on, Felicia, give it to me.
I have a question. I think you're doing an awesome job. Number one. Number two, I held my question back earlier because I was trying not to have too many questions. But you were talking about the government, doing government contracts. How does the government in Ghana and the different ministries feel about businesses who are working fully from home? Or if you're going to do a business contract, are they expecting you to have a walk-in building, office building, office space?
Yeah.
Is that a thing at all?
I really kind of think that depends on who you're talking to and who you're working with. For technology, like tech companies, not so much. Not initially, anyway. Not initially. At some point, yes, people here just naturally want to know where you're located. It's almost like they're just hunting you down. Like, I don't know, I shouldn't say it like that, but it's like they want to know where you're at. Like for real estate, oh, they expect you to have the office. And they get so confused when you don't have a physical office. For childcare, of course, you're going to have an office. For agribusiness, you're going to have some type of office, even if your office is come to my farm, come to the land, drive to me, and we'll meet that way. When you fill out your paperwork for your business, you are going to let's see. When you fill out your paperwork for your business, you're going to have an address, right? So the address that you have for your business could be your home address, and you can still use that. That's not going to be a problem whatsoever because there are physical addresses here, right? I mentioned that to you before. So basically, they're just going to say you're near something and you're in this particular area and this region. It's when the time comes to meet people, how you're going to do that. For me personally, I just be explaining. With Corona, it's fantastic. I was like, look, I don't want to get the Corona. It is important to be safe than sorry. I prefer my employees to be able to text me, call me, interact with the clients over the phone, and I don't want to pay for overhead for rent when I'm not actually in the building, so it saves me money. And all Ghanaians know about saving money. They like to save money on everything. So it hasn't been a big deal for me, but you know, I don't know, for other people, it could be a big deal, especially like if you're in healthcare, you got to see people, interact with them and take their vitals and all kind of other stuff. So, you know, those situations, I'm sure it would be important. Okay, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not getting a response, so I'm not sure what's happening right now. But I do want to know if, let's see. So we did week 4 and I jumped through week 5. Okay, pitching. I want to go ahead and discuss a little bit about pitching and a pitch deck. Have any of you pitched before? All right, so how did it go? So I see Misha, Mike. Let me explain pitching real quick. If you haven't pitched, pitch is when you go in front of other people. It can be a pitch competition, it could be an event, it could be a dinner, it could be in the elevator with someone that has a high level position that can help you do something in a company, and you're trying to sell your product to them. You're selling your company to them. You're helping them to understand what it is you do and why you do it. So how did that go for you, Mike? What were you pitching and who did you pitch it to?
Some of them went well and others didn't. Sometimes what I found is if you know what—
Mike, speak up, speak up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
Okay. If you know what the client's needs are, I found that I've been more successful addressing their needs versus there have been times when I've done cold pitches and I wasn't so good at it because I'm trying to sell you something that I don't know if you need. And I don't really consider myself a salesman, more so as a problem solver. So if you bring me a problem, I can bring you a solution. But if I don't know what you need and I'm trying to pitch, it doesn't go well for me. Other people are good at that, but I'm not.
Okay. So you were pitching to people whose problem you already knew, or to clients who had a problem that you knew you can solve.
Later on in the business, yes, I was. In the beginning, I was pitching to people I didn't know. That's why it went bad.
Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, Misha, what about you?
Okay, so I've done 2 types of pitches. I used to be a Mary Kay sales representative. So I used to pitch cosmetic products of the sort. Mary Kay was kind of self-explanatory. You know, you knew what it was. I was just pretty much pitching to the particular cosmetic item that the customer was kind of already familiar with. The second type of pitching that I did was selling car accessories, pretty much door to door at the gas station. People pull up to the pump, and me and my crew would walk to you as you're pumping gas and tell you how foggy your headlights were and how much you needed this stuff to clear your headlights as you're getting gas. So it was, you know, 2 very different experiences, but it kind of opened me up to, you know, speaking to strangers and kind of answering questions on the fly. So, yeah.
Okay. Has anybody else done any type of pitching where you're trying to, Marlon, go ahead, share please.
Yeah, so IT pitching, pitching for government contracts. Like you said, some went well, some went not so well. I always found it amazing that the folks with the least technical knowledge were always the ones who could actually go out there and win these contracts. And I came across an actual saying the other day that says, "Facts tell, story sells." And I was always heavy on the facts, thinking that's all I needed to get the contracts. And someone would go in there with a story that was very light on the facts, and they would walk away with the contracts. So So my challenge, even now, is to kind of get to a balance where I can cut down on the amount of technical stuff or the facts, and get the story in line so I can, sell what I need to sell. But I've worked with sales folks where I would go in and I would do some of the technical presentations, and they would know absolutely none of the technical stuff, and they would just do more of the, this is the product, right? Just the Vanna White show, right? So that was it.
Okay, great. Okay, so most of you have some type of experience of pitching. Pitching definitely requires telling a story. The more technical you are, the faster you lose them. The more facts you have in there, the more confused people get. And I hate to say facts like that, but there are ways to, and I will tell you guys now, I get so nervous pitching all the time. I have bombed many and I have done well in others. And I think that is true for everyone. I personally don't think anyone's perfect at pitching because everyone can have a bad day, right? But there are some people, like salespeople are excellent at pitching because they're just sellers. Like this is what they do. They get into their flow when they start selling. But I realize that when you're pitching or you're trying to sell someone on what you're doing, get people to understand why your company is special, why the product or service you have would be beneficial for them, and why they should get involved or have or give you the contract, you have to touch them personally. And it's hard to do because you don't know everyone's personal story. But when people are when people are pitching and they're telling a story, somehow that story is impacting those people who are listening to it in a way that is positive for them, which is why, like Marlon said, they'll go for these fools with a nice story and with no knowledge instead of going for the person that has the capability, know-how, and experience to do it. But a lot of times when it comes to pitching, a company or companies will put that fluff person up because they're very good at it, and then the other technical people will be in behind. I will say, as a technical person myself, we are not the greatest at pitching because we look at people like, I told you the data. Do you not understand the data? And they're like, what? When you're pitching, you should be talking to people though as if they don't know your field. So sometimes when folks use a lot of acronyms, people get so confused. And you know, every industry has so many different acronyms. It's insane. And you start spitting them out very easily. And people get confused because they may not know those acronyms or the context in which you're using them. So the reason why I'm asking about pitching is because next week, week 6, we're going to talk about pitching, but we're also going to be talking in groups. I'm going to put you in groups so you can talk offline outside of class about your company while you try to create a small pitch. So I will be explaining next week how you're going to do that, and then partnering you guys up in order to do that. And then we'll be flipping those groups, like we'll be flipping people around so that you all at some point have each other as partners while you're trying to decide what your pitch is by writing it out and then discussing it with your partner that you have to practice your pitching. And then we'll be moving on to talk about pitch decks, allowing you to be able to have something to present to investors or stakeholders, or just having something to present to a possible partner company, a company you may want to partner with here in Ghana or elsewhere. So I wanted to go ahead and cover that. I'm so disappointed, guys. I can't even express, like, this guy had me all pumped up thinking that he was gonna come through. Negro, they be trying me. They tried me. I did say that out loud. Sorry, but I'm so disappointed because I was just so excited. I was like, I got these great founders. They're doing all this awesome stuff. It would be so great if you could talk to them. Please, please forgive me. Any other speaker I have, I will be calling them before time, bugging them like a crazy girl, and make sure that they attend our session. Any question about any of the homework thus far?
Yes, I have a question. So on week 3, that homework was very interesting. It took me so long to even like get through a lot of that stuff because my ADD kept kicking in and I kept getting sidetracked because I kept going down like rabbit holes.
No problem.
But I was actually thinking about the education portion of it and how to train and maintain like a IT core group of people, not necessarily just the workforce, but folks who can go out and start their own businesses and do things like that. And as I started like going through some of the questions and doing a bit of research, this TPS system kept coming up, right? This the Toyota production system, and how they actually train their engineers to basically build the most impressive production manufacturing line probably ever, right? All these manufacturing companies uses this TPS system. And a lot of it spills over into some of the things we do in IT with the Kanban board and all these things. They actually come from that system. So I say all of that to say, I know the Japanese culture is very different from the Ghanaian culture, but is there something we can take from a system like that in trying to build out the right system or pipeline of, I guess, workforce, IT workforce in Ghana?
Yes, absolutely. I know this system because I got so many certificates, and one of them was in, what was it? Project management, PIP, I can't remember. But I think that one was DIMAIC or something, which you're talking about. But yeah, you can bring these systems here. However, you have to have the patience to teach people how they work, to ensure that they follow through with what you taught them, to have continuous education and not to do it one time, but to be continuous, have consequences or repercussions for those who do not follow the structure. And if you can do it in a way that you make it repetitive, but also allow them to be able to think critically, then yeah, you can be successful at that. Remember, you're talking about manufacturing. How much thought do you need in manufacturing? You don't. You need the thought process with the engineers who are making up these processes in which the people are going to go through, or let's say engineers and project managers. The people who are doing it are doing a repetitive action constantly over and over and over again, right? But they do it so much and there's accountability there, and they know when they're doing it wrong that they'll turn around and fix any mistakes. And there's always someone there in a sense to double check what work is being done. So if you can find a way to do that, you certainly can do it. It's just the mindset is different here, but the mindset is totally not the same as Japan. Okay, no, nothing like it. But what they did for that program you're talking about has been implemented, I'm pretty sure, in other parts of the world. So of course it can be implemented to here. It's just a matter of how you're going to go about training and adapting it, because you're not going to be able to do it exactly the way it's done there because the culture is different. But you can do it because they do it already. People are disciplined already. So, oh snap! Okay, he emailed me. He was like, "My area has no lights. I got 10% battery." Lord have mercy! Are you kidding me right now? Sorry, Marley. Give me 1 second. I'm looking.
You're good. You're good.
He said, my Wi-Fi is off. I don't got no signal. He lucky, okay? You know he lucky because I would have been on YouTube like, I done told you. If you clown me, I'm going to clown you back. Okay, he redeemed. Okay, sorry, Marlon. Guys, y'all know how I am. Good. But I hope that answered your question. In short, yes, you can do it, but you got to be here on the ground and adapt for the cultural differences. Remember, you see how I'm like, I try to break things up and make you guys laugh naturally. I used to do it with my students all the time, right? So when I was in the classroom. And so it actually works for me because it just helps people to wake up. But it also helps people to just realize that I'm a real person, right? I'm not just like your teacher or your professor or just some lady that you see on the screen and never actually met in person. You know, I'm a real person. And that's what you'll get here. You'll be meeting real people, and Ghanaians are very loud. You know, Ghanaians are just loud. They're loud. They'll talk. They'll talk. And talking is good, but you have to be sure when they're doing all this talking, they know when to stop and start working. And so these are the things you have to account for without making it seem like you don't understand the importance of people interacting with each other in this culture. You know what I mean? And plus, if you're from the States, you know you got an auntie or somebody that be just like me, be loud. And then her babies come through, or the other auntie come through, or her best friend come through, and they just loud. Yes, like I was just now. Y'all know what that's like. Everybody here is that way, period. So you'll see it as you get here and you see people interacting. So in short, yes, it's definitely possible.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, so I was hoping that you all, each of you, even if you're a co-founder, but individually, each of you individually, would do a small little video for me about what you think about the program. We're like halfway through. So I was hoping that in week 6, you could send me something so I can have it like a testimonial. So people know that what I'm talking about and what we're doing is real, and they don't think I'm pretending or lying. You know, because I do talk about it, but I don't think, I don't know if everyone knows that real life people with real life businesses are great ideas who are turning them into businesses. And all of you want to come to Ghana, whether it's being bi-continental or whether moving, you all are going to come at some point to do your business. So how do you guys feel about that? Is that too much? I don't know.
No,
Great.
it's great. No, yeah.
How long do you want it to be?
Oh, short. It could be like, I don't know, no longer than 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You know, it could be short. You know what I'm saying? Something. Okay. Yeah, he's trying to, his text must just now be coming through. Guys, we have been, yesterday the power went out here and I was so scared it was gonna go out today. It went out at like 8 and stayed out until like 3 in the morning. I had mad attitude. So I think that his neighborhood is doing the same thing, so that his text messages are coming through. But guys, if you can do that and send me the video, you can send it through WhatsApp if you want, because you all have my WhatsApp number, or you can email it to me, it doesn't matter. I just would greatly appreciate that so that folks know that we're doing something good here, so that Ghanaians in certain positions can see that you all are coming, you are focused, you are going to contribute to the economy in a great way. Because I'm going to announce it to the world. You know, there's lots of people, a lot of different types of people that watch me, follow me, interact with me. And a lot of them are Ghanaians in very well-placed positions, let's just put it that way. And diasporans who are here doing things quietly. Everybody's not like me, you know, I'll just get on and say whatever, but everybody's not like that. People do a lot of their things in silence and do it well, which is fine. But I would really appreciate that if you guys could do that. Gwen, you got a question?
So should we talk about the program itself, or should we talk about our idea and businesses? Or
sorry. Yes, I would like for you to talk about both, please.
Okay.
Yes. It's important in the video, guys, if you talk about the Blackunicorn Business Blueprint Incubator, at least name it, and then talk about your business and or business idea, and then talk about your desire to come to Ghana to be an entrepreneur. You know, I would greatly appreciate that. If you want to do it in multiple languages, I will take it, because I will look stellar. I will look awesome. Just letting you know, you know, yeah, wink, wink. Yeah, but short and sweet is good. But if you could just talk about who we are, like the incubator itself, and how you feel about the program. And please be honest. Please just say how you truly feel, because that's important. And then I can just share that, and that would be good. Thanks, guys. Okay, so any other questions about any of the topics? Because our guest is not going to be able to join us. And I was going to let you guys leave early. So those of you who still need to get your homework in, I'm watching you, girl. You see me. You see me, Misha, looking at you. Marla, I'm looking at you cross-eyed too, because I need to see you, make sure that you got all your work in. I'm not sure.
It's there. It's there. It's in the wrong place, but it's there.
Yeah, okay. Please take this time.
My homework is there. It's just that I was having an issue with the second column. Because it's childcare, it's like it's only one problem: lack of childcare. So I was just kind of brainstorming with myself of what to put in that second column.
Look, it's not just lack of childcare, it's quality childcare, providing the educational content to allow for critical thinking at the early stages of child development. You know, you do more than what you realize when you're working with children of that age. You're molding their little baby minds at a time that's most precious. So think about it more than just lack of childcare, which is true, but quality and safe childcare is important.
Right, and that's what I put as the customer problem: quality childcare. So I'm just trying to like segue to trying to stay within that same umbrella and think of what another problem would be within that same umbrella, because that's what I have: quality childcare. But I'm just trying to think of, you know, just I guess what I can also put as a problem, but still be within the same umbrella.
But you told me two problems. First one. Oh, okay. What am I doing? Mute yourself, Misha. Okay, so there sound like two problems. The first one is lack of childcare, which is true. The second one is quality childcare, which is also a problem. These are two separate problems. So therefore, those are two problems, right? And three, if you are going to have that online component to it, that is something else you can add as a problem, because the access to e-learning for kids of that age could be something is lacking. So just these are the type of things you think about. Remember, I have office hours. Some of you guys take advantage of it. I appreciate you because you make me think hard, because Felicia and Gwen were on it this week, boy. I was like, these ladies is like, they like, hey, we ain't playing. I love it because it makes me think about the assignments and then how I can adjust them to make it easier to understand, but still have that same quality to it. So it's great. So I appreciate that. But please do office hours. Marlon, you too. We don't have to be on the call long, you guys. It could be short and sweet. It doesn't have to be long, but if you get stuck, let me know. I created that WhatsApp group. If you don't want to talk to me, you can just send out a message to your co-founders, to your colleagues, and just ask a question and get some advice. You guys are free to talk to each other in the app. Because half the time I'm gonna ignore that app unless it's important. But I mean, you know, the messages, unless it's important, it's directed to me, then I'm on it. But this is a way for you to talk if you don't want to send email and you have a question and you want to get the work done before the due date. Guys, please use it. And I really think it would be good if you all helped each other. Because remember, you all are doing this to get a grade. You're doing this to be entrepreneurs here in Ghana and to be successful at it. So helping each other, bouncing resources off of each other, like I found this here, maybe this can help you, or I had this question, what do you guys think? And maybe you guys can bounce things off of each other, and that could be helpful as well. And when needed, I can come in and just say, okay, this is how it's done here, or this is another resource that is being used here in Ghana, and maybe this can be useful as well. And that's just a way for us to take advantage of what Felicia has suggested, and that's this WhatsApp group. Does that sound all right? All right.
Kalea, because
Yes.
you shared it with me in office hours, I didn't know if you wanted to share it with everybody else. The part about the addressable market versus the market versus the segment and the order of that was really helpful for me. So I don't know if you want to share that with everybody.
Right. So, and she's right. That one assignment, I believe that was from week 3. What was that assignment called, Felicia? Do you remember the name?
It was week 3 market research, where you were saying the addressable market should be global. The market itself should be the country of Ghana, and then the segment should be the industry.
Right. So the week 3 assignment is that spreadsheet that had the addressable markets. I think it also asked you about your competitors. It asks you to provide some links from your competitors, stuff like that. So yeah, so what Felicia said is accurate. And Gwen and Gillum had the same question about the wording I used. So I know in the future to change that. The addressable market is global. The segment, I'm trying to go off memory right now. The segment is when you drill down into your industry here in Ghana. And then there was the middle one that's for the country. What was that called, Felicia?
Market was after. Addressable market first, yeah. And then market was second. And then segment was last.
Okay, and so when I talked about the market, I was talking about the whole nation of Ghana. So the information you can find out about the nation of Ghana, and then the segment is the area that you're in to do business, like that industry that you're in to do business, and what those what that data is talking about there. Does that help? Hopefully that helped you guys. Okay, so I talked about this with Felicia. I talked about this with Gwen and Gillum during office hours. But hopefully that helps as you guys move forward. Again, when you have hiccups like that with the homework, with a specific type of wording, let me know. That's something I think you guys should put in WhatsApp, because if one person has the question, almost 100% someone else has the question. So those are good questions to ask, because that makes me think, okay, obviously I worded this the wrong way, so I need to change it. And then maybe I'll have enough time to change it before you guys actually start working on it. And if not, you all have the same answer in real time. All right, that sound good? All right. All right. I think I feel like watching some Kevin Hart. All right, guys. I hope you guys have a good evening, good afternoon, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I have nothing else to share. Once I'm able to get our guest speaker to join, he will come on. For now, there's no power. So this is Ghana. He is here in Ghana. So this happens. Yeah, this happens. So we'll figure things out. But I am so thankful for you guys being patient with me last week when I had no power. Thank you guys so much for being around. And please send me that video when you have the time. Yes, sir.
Can you send us the link of the replay because we missed the first part of the live?
Say that again.
We missed the first part of the live. So can you send us the link of the replay?
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah, I will do that. Actually, I will try to do that. I normally edit these lives before I send them out, but I can go ahead and just send it out. I came on early, guys, so the first 30 minutes, you're going to just see me at my computer. So skip through that part and then go to the content part. But yeah, I'll do that. Oh, quick question. Could any of you access the live from week 3? I sent it as a private link in YouTube. Did anybody try? If you didn't try, don't worry. I just want to know if you tried and could not access it. And the reason why I asked is because you're supposed to be able to send a private video using email to a specific person, and they should be able to see it. So that's why I'm asking. Am I on mute? What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
Sorry, we're over here trying to figure out. I thought this was week 4. Is this week 4? This is week 5. I thought this was week 4.
Okay, so we're in week 5 right now. Week 4 is the week that I had to cancel class because the power was out. So this week I covered the content from week 4 and week 5 because we're in week 5 right now. I sent out the video for week 3 live, I don't know, right? Like a few days after that live session. So that's why I was asking.
Where did you send the link?
But I didn't watch it.
I don't know when I sent that link, guys. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna send it again. I mean, I'm not gonna send week 3 again. I'm gonna just send week 4. And if you don't find it, or if you can't open it, just send a WhatsApp so that I can try to do it unlisted. I really don't like to do unlisted. I want to do private, but I'll figure it out. I'll do if I have to do unlisted, it'll be for a limited time, and I'll tell you via WhatsApp so everyone gets the information. Okay?
I was able to access week 2, but not 3.
Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm gonna send it out unlisted, and then I'll just have it live. I'll have it there for you for a few days, and I'll just let you know the dates when I'm going to take it down, the date when I'm going to take it down. Okay? All right, guys, and then that's it. All right, have a good night, everybody. Bye.